Bob, I'm going to throw it to you. Let you you throw out a story or a thought where we want to go next.
Oh, okay. The past couple weeks, I've been lighting it up with some disturbing stories,
Yes, you have.
and
Thank you very much
yeah,
for that.
and I think today's a, today's a disturbing story um, for a little bit of a different reason. And let me see if I can bring it up real quick. And it's actually local too, which makes it that much more interesting.
All right.
Okay, I don't know if you guys saw this. Is it up? It's up. All right.
U.S. Marshals draw
The,
gun Florida mom.
the seat or the scene. We're in Bradenton, Florida. A young mother with her 3-month-old is taking a nap. Uh, she hears knocking on the door. It's the U.S. Marshals with guns ablazing. They're looking for somebody. She goes, well, he's not here. He's not here. We want to come in. You know, she's got all this on her ring, so it's recorded. And they come in. They didn't ransack the house, but they went through the house. Oh, and then they said, oh, wrong address, and left. And they just took off. No apologies. No nothing. Scared the daylights out of this young lady and her young baby. She called the U.S. Marshal Service to say, hey, what's going on? Why'd y'all do this? And this is what they told her on the phone. This is what really ticked me off to no end. Let's see. They, the young mother said she called the U.S. Marshal Service about the mistake and was told that they could provide a mental health counselor. Adding a man on the phone told her to take melatonin and get over it. So there you go.
Take melatonin.
Like to put you to sleep or whatever. So this is why we do have issues with law enforcement, right? They go to in the right place, the right apartment, or the right place was in the same apartment. The things are, all right, yes, you made a mistake. Do you just pour out of the house without even say, sorry, ma'am, we made a mistake, wrong place, and then to be that rude to her on the phone, like she was some kind of a whack job. Yeah, that's the tick off story of the day for me.
Yeah, rightfully so. This is crazy. I mean, Alex, these stories keep happening, and reality is, that there was, a political move to basically keep, uh, you know, the current status in place. Like Rand Paul put forth, the no knock warrant thing, and that got shot down. And we hear all these talks, but then nothing ever gets done. We hear stories like this, and it's like, this is just crazy authoritarian nonsense. The kind of stuff that's right up your ballywick all the time. Of like, you're always screaming, this is exactly what we're going to see more of.
Yeah, this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning, and it's going to keep happening as long as we keep increasing the laws, and as long as government also continually thinks that people are questioning their authority, that they have to do things in order to beat those people down, to not question anything that they're doing. And this is only going to continue until you get rid of these laws. This is the one area in which, while I wouldn't necessarily blame like systemic racism, I will say that this happens on a socioeconomic level much more to poor people, and the cops don't have to apologize because those people don't have the resources to be able to take those cops to task, to fight the system. They don't have the ability to do that, and they're a lot more easily intimidated than people that have resources. Like, they're not doing that, and they're not going to do that in a middle class or an upper class neighborhood per se, and just do it. They're going to do it to people that are poor, and they don't care, and they're going to continue to do it. And it's sad. And it's sad that we have police officers and U.S. Marshals that don't really understand what their job is, and what their job should be, which is to protect the liberties of the people, they treat everyone as if they're the bad guy. Like they treat everybody badly, and they think that they're somehow justified to be able to do it. And it's what also infuriates me about Republicans now that are trying, that the ones that are trying to save qualified immunity, like they're trying to keep it. They think that it's a good thing. I think that police officers should be always afraid of being sued for doing the wrong thing. I think that the incentive structure is completely backwards right now. We need to make the cops need to not be worried about their lives. They need to be worried that they're going to get sued if they do the wrong thing. And until they have that fear that they're not protected by the law, that the law will be used against them just like they're used against us citizens, then we're going to continue to be in this situation. It's funny. I do want to mention a story that goes along with this. So I was up in Tallahassee a bunch of years back, and I was lobbying, and I was down in the smoking area, and the person that was there was a lobbyist for for some cop organization. I don't remember which one it was, but they were the police, some police organization that she was up there lobbying for them, and she was with a couple officers. They weren't in uniform. They were just in civilian clothes. And they asked me what I do up there, and I explained what I did up there. And they looked at me and they go, "Well, you must hate cops." And I said, "You know what?" And this was what I said at the time. I go, "You know what? I absolutely love cops." I said, "I love cops so much that I want to come up here to Tallahassee to eliminate all the stupid laws that government stops you or makes you enforce, and to only have things that have victims with it, so that way you guys could look like heroes all the time." And I will say that, and again, this is just anecdotal evidence, but those two cops went from like this to really kind of like, "Oh, tell me more." Like they were interested because of what I said and how I said it. Is that I would rather them be there to protect the liberties of the individual than to enforce all of these stupid laws that they make them enforce. That way, these instances like this would go down tremendously, because mistakes are still going to happen. There's no getting around that. Like the raid going to the wrong house, that will happen again. But if you get rid of all the stupid laws and let law enforcement focus on the victim crime laws, then I think we'd be in a much better position. And I think cops would be a lot more loved.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Great comments too here. She's a hired attorney, obviously. And then she says, or they say, the key point is that police hate being questioned on any level. And I couldn't agree more. Like exactly what you're saying, Alex. It's like, they come in, the burden of proof is already gone. They've been sent to do a raid. The fact that there could be a mistake or that they would do the confirmation to say they're in the right place just did not happen. I don't even understand how that's possible, but it seems like there'd be easy ways to prevent these things happening at the last minute. So, Bob, did it say what are they going in for the raid for? What was the alleged crime that they're doing this for again? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I already put it up, but
okay, that's fine.
But they did catch the guy. I don't remember what his crime was.
Right.
But just another perspective. To me,
I'm not even saying that really matters or it's like a big thing. It's
yeah,
I'm trying to get a perspective of how on edge the police were.
I want to say it was a murder, but don't quote me on that. It was a serious felony. But I look at it from this other perspective also, is the arrogance, right? Just picture yourself, you at your job, Alex at his job, or me at my job, talking to a client and say, "Go take some melatonin. You'll get over it."
Yeah, I know.
I would be out the door. I'd be out the door in 5 minutes.
Yeah, every aspect of all of this is so out of control that one of the best things about the pandemic is that we just got to really see some of this for how it is. And if you pay attention to the news at all, folks, and you see Australia, it's still playing out. It's still playing out. The absurdity there is completely.
Hey, we're News Talk with Brandon and Bob. We're here to tell you about some of the facts so you don't have to waste your time watching CNN.
We don't want you wasting any time with CNN.
Or Fox or MSNBC or some of these other guys that are making a whole lot of money.
Et cetera, et cetera.
He's not paying.